Prepare yourself for a sprawling discussion on just about anything, where critical thinking meets pop culture in a collision of mind-bending proportions. Please secure all neurons and prepare for full frontal cortex. It's time for Incoherent Ramblings.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Incoherent Ramblings, Ramble 05151. We are past 50. Thank you, Daryl. And this is the episode on privacy. I'm your host, Joey Shamel. Territoria.
What the hell? Chucky's here. Well, Eddie's a little constipated tonight. I'm Paul Hunger.
Cale Anderson. Daryl Jors.
Ralph, Joe.
I was on cue that time.
Dude.
Joe.
Dude.
And we're talking about privacy tonight. And
There's a guest person in our audience. Do we want to say that?
We just did.
Okay.
Well, we now have two voice of women.
yeah, we have two double.
Or maybe voice of woman and girl. I
Yes.
Well then.
Wow.
So today's sponsor is Men in Black because they're kind of take away our privacy.
Nuggets.
The Men in Black.
I'm sorry. Are we allowed to say that, by the way?
Jeez, bleep out. That was
nugget.
quick. All right. 2 seconds.
Okay,
2 minutes.
and our I'm too close to Eddie here. Okay, and so today we're going to be talking about privacy. Remember, you can always reach us at show@IamRambling.com. Please let us know you're out there.
What was that again?
Show@IamRambling.com. Please let us know
Thank
you're out
you.
there. Today we're going to be talking
Putting it in the
about
browser right now.
intro to privacy. What is privacy? Your right to privacy, privacy protection, types of privacy, technology's changing and invading privacy. Something else that isn't coming up. Privacy. Government. What we expect to do in the past, what we expect to do now.
Last week was when something wasn't coming up.
Yeah. What is a private versus public area? Ooh. And a privacy conclusion. All right.
I'll tell you about my public areas.
Yeah, I don't know how to go backwards.
That's
private.
Okay, so let's get going here.
Timer started.
good.
Boom.
Time for the pre-ramble. Pre-ramble! Oh, yeah. With Joey. All right, on today's Work to Furk, we're going to be talking about why can't I get this to go back? We're going to be talking about Han Solo. Has anybody heard the latest news about?
He got hurt.
He got hurt. Work to Furk.
his
Han
osteoporosis.
Solo, Indy. He can't be hurt.
His foot. And
That's just right. So yeah, apparently on
This is
the
going back to grab his hat.
wrong movie. Apparently on the set of Star Wars Episode 7,
Only the biggest movie.
Harrison Ford, 71 years old, even though he doesn't look it, has actually.
He's not the Black Dick Clark,
Mine's
though.
next 4.
But it's you know what?
What?
That was from last week.
So. Apparently, it wasn't that he was doing some cool like stunt or anything. Just a piece of hydraulic equipment fell on his foot.
Yeah.
So though, you can picture
That's
that's
what
like
they
the door.
said.
Did you just say Solo?
Yeah. So did he fall and couldn't get up?
What the hell is going on over there?
Anyway,
No.
We're only doing a show.
We're having a private conversation over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, give them some privacy.
Yeah.
so that's today's show.
Joey got burned.
Okay, so Word to Furk. If anyone wants to get hurt, it should have been like Luke, because he's Jedi, so.
Yeah, he would have seen it.
But he's
coming.
Mark Hamill.
Luke did get hurt. He lost his hand in number 2, remember? Or number 6, 5.
He lost his hand doing
Yes.
number 2.
Oh,
man! Oh, cut it off!
No, don't do that on the table, Joey.
They did film in
He's jerking
Tunisia.
off the table as you
Hey,
can see.
And I hear that that's kind of where you go.
Yeah,
over
you
there.
do.
Yes, that's exactly what
It should have been Lando.
Yeah, that's what it is. Lando deserved it.
That
what I
hydraulic
say.
fluid keep his skin so
Well, I just hope that it doesn't cut down his time in the movie, because he's supposed to have a major part, like he's one of the main characters. All right. Those
What
were
was
Furk.
that? What the was that?
My section.
Well, do word of the week, but say
Shit.
word and joke of the week. Wait.
Word and joke of the week.
That's my segue.
There you go.
With Paul and Ed.
Do you want to go
Ed?
first?
No, go right ahead.
Let's do.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
You go first.
No, you go first.
No.
Okay.
I won.
Somebody freaking go
All right,
first.
okay, I'll go
There's
first.
just 2 guys.
You can have the sloppy seconds. Okay,
And go
All
first.
right.
this week's word is flawless victory.
Ooh,
Oh, it's when you have victory, but it's
Mortal Kombat.
flawless.
That's when you've got Shao Kahn.
Okay, wait a second. What do we know? When Paul does something that is not sexual sounding, it is sexual.
Yes.
Therefore, a flawless victory is you have sex and spill none of your cum.
Okay, so.
Well, it's probably when you are having sex and you make somebody come a whole bunch of times, but you're not even like your bar is still full, you know.
That was Jerry.
That's your
Lewis.
flawless victory.
Well, it was close.
When you take a shit and it all comes out.
You were the closest.
Oh, yeah!
Victory is the act of taking a poop, and upon wiping yourself, you discover nothing on the toilet paper. It's completely clean. The event has been known.
All right.
That's called
as a
the ghost
flawless
shit.
victory.
From now on, whenever that happens, I'm gonna shout, "Flawless victory!" They will be like, "What the hell?"
Isn't a ghost shit when it goes?
Oh yeah,
poop and it goes
yeah,
to
it's
the
in
pipe
Okay,
and those
hurry up.
things.
Before time's out.
That was a little bit on the pale.
What's half of 7?
Well,
You know what that smells like?
It smells like science.
smells like the bad
This
joke
time,
in the blender.
it smells like paralyzed people at the World Cup.
This isn't getting better, dude.
No, it is. It is. It's getting better because they're going to be wearing extra. This is the first time they're going to allow some people who cannot walk, paraplegics, and they're going to have exoskeletons on that are controlled from their brains.
I've heard about this. It's called Edge of Tomorrow.
No, that's a movie, not a real thing.
I heard about this called Christopher Reeve.
I heard about it. It's called Tom Cruise.
RoboCop.
It's called the Walk. It's called the Walk Again Project, and 8 Brazilian patients.
How much is a Brazilian? Oh my god, 8 Brazilian of them?
Yep.
That's a lot.
That's like no hair and everything.
8 Brazilian. Oh, that's more than a billion. I'm sorry.
No, but so they're going to kick off the first play or whatever. I don't know,
That's
soccer, whatever. They're
Ball kick.
Yeah.
Not
Scored. Yes.
Hey,
I'll be there for the coin toss.
Yeah, so
At the 50-yard line.
I don't care about the soccer
center
part,
court.
Just mixing
but
mine
this
up.
new
Yeah,
milestone
the
because the paraplegic people are actually going to have sensors on that do all of the senses that a normal foot would do.
That's cool.
And they're going to be able to feel that.
Oh, wait, they can feel it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's awesome. Because I
do
haven't
that
heard
at
that
home.
before.
I wanna
It's
do
going
that
to
at home.
have
I
tactile
want to feel
feedback.
my feet at home.
That is cool.
The Verge report.
Is it wired into the brain?
Pretty neat.
Well, that's
plug
the
it
thing
in
is
like,
that they're
the
going to be
Avatar?
wearing, as you can see, they're going to be wearing little things on their heads. So it's
Can you
not
guys
like,
see that at home? See? See that at
You
home?
will be
Yeah.
because the audio will.
It's on that shit.
We'll plug it
We'll
in
have the show
there.
notes.
Plug it in, plug it in.
So
Nice.
I think it's very cool.
That's pretty awesome, man.
What?
Yeah.
And that's right along the lines of your cyborg fetish that you've got. Yeah.
Well,
it
it's
is.
kind of like that between.
And you know it
We're
really is
going
a
to talk about
fetish.
next week. It's cyborgs, or it's going to be Tech Talk.
Cyborg.
What's going on here?
I don't know.
we've
People
got-
are
we've got a
talking in the
sideshow
background.
going
We're
on,
not supposed to be
apparently.
talking in the background.
Right. So Tech Talk. Today's tech has something to do with Bitcoin, actually, because something came out at the end of last month called the Willy Report. I know.
Willy report.
Hey, everybody, do the Willy Report.
The Willy Report.
You'll hear it loud when I do the Willy
Paul,
Report.
put your hands back on
The Willy report. Oh, the Willy report.
So,
I think that happened all during the Clinton
To
administration.
take it down.
right?
Oh, that's the Monica report.
My Willy report is warm because my laptop's on it.
All right, I've got 2 minutes.
Everybody give their Willy report.
I've got 2 minutes. Okay, so
To the right.
you can find it at
Willie's in
willyreport.wordpress.com.
my wife's purse.
And what happened is that somebody tracked logs that were released
I just
from
don't like
Mt.
to admit
Gox, which
that.
is
Wait, logs?
the trading system
Oh, yeah, okay.
in Japan.
Okay,
that
got
was
it.
shut down.
Mount Cox, the one that went out. Yeah.
Not Mount Cox, even though it's the
You
Willy
did
Report.
it!
Yes.
Mount Gox. Okay, so
I knew this would eventually become
Yes.
Bitcoin.
Okay,
Go ahead, Daryl.
They were accused of all sorts of shenanigans, and there were a bunch of missing coins. But even worse than that, when these logs were released, somebody compiled a report that basically shows that there were bots making trades. Like basically, when the exchange wasn't even open to the public, there were bots making trades happen. They were trading volume, and there were like closures of accounts and openings of accounts. So it was like a system of
Can't trust those
Yes,
bots.
exactly.
right. And the bots were probably running on
bots in
internal
crime.
servers because they were doing things like avoiding fees and stuff on transactions. But basically, a lot of the rise that happened at the end of the year last year looks like it was manipulated by Mt. Gox because they were actually ahead of most of the other exchanges when large volumes were trading, and large volumes were coming from a bot called Willy.
Wow. So
Very interesting.
So wait,
So if you don't want your bitcoins, send them to Daryl at IamRambling.com.
and also, if you release your logs, make sure you have a
Screw
flawless-
Bitcoin.
thanks-
Use
Hey, I
Coinstar.
was bringing it around.
Thanks, so I couldn't make a
Routine
full
financial.
report, guys.
Coinstar lets you get Amazon gift cards.
Would you like to extend?
Yeah, I think so. Actually,
Go ahead.
Wait,
You're going to use your extents on
Extend
this?
your willing.
yes, I am.
All right.
Good, because I have a joke which I was trying to put in
Okay.
there.
Okay,
Let's hear the
Because-
joke.
No, he's got you.
Wait.
Let him go.
But I want.
wait, you're gonna free your
I
willy,
need to
aren't you?
laugh.
You're gonna free it.
You're gonna.
So-
you're using it on
2.
this.
I know, but the thing is that I couldn't really.
It's like
The voyage
it's like
home.
watching pet
Anyway.
porn.
Damn.
I couldn't really finish it though. That's the thing. So what this amounts to is that it looks like there's been some unnatural trading, and that means two things for people who are long in Bitcoin right now. First thing is that the actual value right now may be artificially high because of these shenanigans that happened.
What are they? What's it at?
And
It's
the
at
other thing,
629.
Ooh, shenanigans.
and the other thing is that
Worth 5.
if it went up like tenfold over a matter of days back in November, largely because it was manipulated, then now that the manipulation is gone, this kind of thing might not happen again.
Oh, no.
So it means
It'll probably
big things.
happen again.
It could mean big things for Bitcoin. Now it comes down to how much of it was
Reality?
natural market forces versus the manipulation. The manipulation probably accentuated things that were happening anyway.
Usually does.
So the thing is, now we're about 7 months past where the high was, and maybe the market's caught up. But what it amounts to is that they, through these manipulations, they put extra liquidity in the market, which set the value really high. But there's not enough actual fiat currency in the system to maintain those values. So now the market might just be catching up, and that might be where we see things actually going above and beyond where they were at the end of last
So
year.
this is all because of the release of the logs.
Kind of like.
So when you release your logs, make sure you have a flawless.
Yes.
Nice.
All right, so
Right there.
boom.
That was worth the wait.
Flawless victory.
Okay, let's move on to privacy. Hey, am I in the shot when I'm here?
No, but your breasts.
Yes, barely.
Because I'm tired of doing this.
There.
I like it. when
Okay.
it does
We got
that.
lean in.
What is privacy?
Photo time.
As we found out, we always need to start with a definition because otherwise we'll spend the whole freaking time trying to figure out what our definition is. So what is privacy? Paul, why don't we start with you? Because
It's like piracy.
Piracy. Well, do not bootleg DVDs. Oh wait.
Bullshit.
Don't get any butt pirating.
I really
What's a
think-
DVD, dude?
Yeah,
so
what
old
is
school.
that?
I know.
No, let's just go around this way.
I see.
Okay, Paul, yeah, go.
Okay. All right. Privacy, I think, is the assumption that what you are, the information that you are either researching or looking at, is not being watched by others.
Okay.
That's maybe like a library term.
See, and I go.
library point of view.
That's pretty good. How'd your interview go, by the way?
It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
For what?
Librarian job.
Cool.
So, from no
You
privacy
guys watching
for him.
this right now?
Yes.
I mean,
We vote for this guy.
Okay, privacy. If they watch this, you're not getting a job.
No. Talking about.
yeah, I know.
Thank you, Ed.
Okay, so I say privacy is anything to
Why
do
is
with.
it I get shit for saying the F word?
No, we were
He
just
says
kidding.
this-
You know, because it's got to be beeped. All right,
bleeped.
privacy is, I think, anything you don't want other people to know, and keeping it from getting other people to know it. Ed, what do you think?
You know, stuff that could be.
Okay, Ghost.
Shit. Stuff that could
I
be.
saw that
Patrick
movie.
Swayze.
Ghost shit. I remember that movie.
There you go.
I'm so gay.
Stuff
for
that
knowing
could be
You
potentially
shot.
embarrassing,
What was the song in
damning,
it?
or compromise your financial
doing the
status
clay
or
thing?
well-being, or
I
damage
love you.
your
Ditto.
family. That's what
Oh, is that what
privacy
they
is.
said? Oh, that is gay.
I gave my nobody's care.
Well, there's
just sitting and talking to the
I
camera.
got you there, dude. So there's
Fuckbucker.
there are opposing forces. You got privacy
Fuckbucker.
and
Hey,
public.
you come last. Kale, go ahead.
Willie came first.
Oh, we're actually going to go to me
Yeah.
today? Yeah. All right. Privacy.
Kale's like, hello.
Not get blocked.
No, it's privacy is just what you don't want other people to know, and or you get to determine who gets to know what.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
So that's basically what I want from
Control
privacy.
of your information.
Yeah, but
Joe, go ahead.
Here's the thing: if you do not control the information you put out there, it is public. For all you kids taking these social medias at parties
Well-
when you're drunk and stupid, that'll come back to haunt you 13,
And you're
20
like-
Because you're
years
using
down
a
the road.
public program.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
unless
there's-
your profile on.
We'll get
So
in.
if you're
We're
not
getting there.
careful with the information you put out on yourself, it can come back and bite you in the
Like the
ass.
information
Thing is,
we're
even
putting
if
on
you're
here.
doing something privately, you can still have other people copy your information
Exactly.
and reshare it. So I mean,
Daryl, go.
But that's a matter of trust.
Yeah, we'll get
so
into
privacy. you have two forces here. You have public and private. Public would be anything that happens, say, outside of your property. Or if you're doing it on your property, but it's within clear view of public places, then you are going to be responsible for deciding what you want to do in public versus what you want to keep private. And then the same thing about on the internet, it's kind of like there's internet hygiene. Like, what do you put out there on social networks and everything? And then also, who do you trust? Because you share certain things with certain people. They could reshare those things.
Who loves you and who do you love?
It can be as innocent as, like, here's a picture of me.
Yes,
Here's a picture of me passed out drunk in the bushes. And you might share that privately with someone else, but they can choose to reshare it. But then it can be as bad as, like,
dang,
real quick.
bedroom pictures.
I have a quick
honey.
Too bad. Moving on. Right to privacy.
Joey and I have better pictures.
No, just real quick.
No, it doesn't work that way. If you want it, if it fits in later, that's fine. You want to extend? I'll give you an extend. You want to extend?
All I want to say is, look, you have a KINECT over there. It has cameras.
He just snuck that in.
True.
Yeah,
He just...
fine. I extend.
I can't believe he did that.
I extend.
Oh, he extended. All right. I
Fine,
can't move backwards.
extend.
Damn it. It's got to be.
There's a camera on
Oh, it's just the arrow back.
Okay, the definition of privacy.
Somebody not watching that right now. Who says that that's not hooked up and being watched? Right
nobody
now?
Well, you can
cares
check. You
about
can
it.
inspect.
Nobody cares. I'm just
You
saying.
can inspect the network and find out if it's generating packets or not.
But it could.
That's why you put electrical tape over it.
I think that's a good point. I think a lot of people
That's
get.
Dvorak.
But that's an invasion of privacy.
We
yes.
do have more and
Well,
more
it depends.
cameras
No,
everywhere.
I say it's not because I don't care if anyone sees that.
I don't care either.
Then I don't think it's
Yeah, but
private.
if you're like just
But
coming out of the
it's a
shower, you
privacy
start
thing.
It's the
caring.
assumption that
What if
the
you
assumption
walk
of
out
privacy
naked to
is
your house
it's the assumption that
and somebody's looking at that?
it's not invading
Oh, you're
on
talking
your own
about the
property.
thing. Yeah,
Kinect.
the Kinect. Yeah, that's right.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
he's talking about
That makes
zombieing.
sense.
Yeah, no, I got you. And that's. But
I'm not trying to be paranoid.
No. I agree with you, but I think that what's going to happen is there will be sometimes when privacy is
Look, I'm
I'm trying to think of a word.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just want to wash your
Merged,
fingers.
blended.
When privacy is
Shaded.
when your privacy
Fart.
is taken over, is infringed upon,
There it is.
and then we will
conducting the
find
orchestra.
ways to.
He's conducting.
Private.
Get to it.
It's time for a mission. Da, 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 da.
So have you guys heard about
I'll
the
get to it.
FBI surveillance where they had basically a Trojan that went on like cell phones, and then they could monitor while the cell phone was actually literally turned off. They were able to
But does
monitor
that bother you?
conversations.
Does that bother you? It doesn't bother me.
Moving
It doesn't
on.
bother- if it-
Right
if
to
it gets
privacy.
the
Well,
wackos.
it kind of works on this one because right to privacy definitions: an individual right, a collective value, human or what is your right to privacy? And I think that's a good way of looking at it. What do you guys think? Rights to privacy. Do we even have a right?
Not
I
anymore.
think if you put
Not
it
anymore.
online, it is not private.
Exactly.
Just think that.
Because that's
if you
not a-
put it
that's
If you do it in
online,
public, it's not private.
If you leave
Yeah.
your house, it's not private anymore.
Yeah, on private.
If you leave outside, there's
Grounds.
cameras everywhere now.
Yep.
Your
But I think-
moves are tracked. Your
I think,
car
but no,
right
not
now.
just your house.
You
I
don't
think what
have
Paul
an-
said, privacy.
If you're on private grounds.
If you're on private grounds, like
It's not just your house.
Yeah.
It's not just your property.
it's places you,
you don't
expect
have
to
an
be private.
expectation of privacy.
I mean, it's just like
Like a bathroom, you
Yeah.
have an expectation
like
of
even
privacy.
even a public restroom, there's some expectation
actually- yeah.
because you know there's going to be nudity in there. You have some expectation there won't be surveillance.
Yeah,
there
but
won't be
there's
people
already
flashing
been
cameras
those
around.
cameras busted.
and there
in the
will be,
restroom.
but that's
Yeah.
why there's such strong.
that's why they're busted.
And here's
Yeah.
here's one way that I draw the distinction because I've seen a lot of events like recently on the news there was some kid that had a video of him getting accosted by a woman on a beach. She literally shoved him over and he has like tape of it. He's being attacked by her because he was flying a drone over this beach taking some footage. And she felt that was an invasion of privacy. And when I heard it reported, people were kind of like going like, "Oh, he was almost asking for it, taking photos at the beach."
No, he wasn't.
But if he was perving, he's doing it wrong because when you have a drone, it's a big wide
Take
shot.
it
You have
from
a
the
wide
master.
angle lens, And I've seen a lot of shots like that. Like you can do projects where you fly over a scenic area.
How
and
is she
it's
supposed to
beautiful.
know that, though?
People
But
are
the
just
thing is, like,
overreacting.
being accosted for someone taking public photos in a
Yeah,
public place
exactly.
is just.
It
Stupid.
used to be different. Back in the 70s or whatever, you had to get a permit if you wanted to film anywhere, a camera.
Yeah.
And it's not like that anymore because there's so much technology out there.
But
You can film
my
anytime.
big
It's
distinction
difficult to
is
enforce.
Yeah.
there's a
Okay,
difference
what about
between
the news?
harassing someone specifically.
Right, if you were following the lady along with the drone and going,
the restroom thing, right? Like if you're taking photos in the restroom, that's harassment of the people there.
Right, what about?
But if you're on a public beach and people are dressed for the beach or whatever, you got to expect that someone might take photos. Now, if they're taking close-ups of like breasts,
it's like
butts, and stuff like that, that's harassment. Right?
What about live shots on news footage? You're walking behind. You're
usually we're going
permission, but you're now on television.
And the thing you were talking about with signing contracts and everything, Joey, that's generally a legal disclaimer. Like if you're a news company and you're making money with the footage you're taking, someone can claim and say my face was on the news that night. I want a cut. I want a royalty. But when you're doing a little project for yourself on YouTube and you're probably going to make $0 on it, then why bother posting it and saying this is a public area? You might be on footage. You have a right to 1% of the $0 I'm going to make.
Yeah.
That's why it's a difference now.
The right to privacy, I think, is also changing. Like, you used to need a permit. It's not like that anymore because of social media, because privacy is so hard to come by.
You need permits for anything that's going to be disruptive to traffic and things
Correct,
like that.
but just for filming and getting in the area, that's disruption, though. I'm talking about for privacy. I guess that wasn't originally. I see what you're saying. But the thing is that privacy is changing. With social, I think the next generation is going to have less of a value on privacy than we have. Because it will be more accepted. It will be, people will accept people more, and they won't be so worried about people finding certain things out. They'll be like, I don't give a crap.
Right. And the other thing, too, if you're going to leave the house, like, dressed a certain way that you're going to be embarrassed if you wind up just happen to be in the background of someone's photo, then rethink what you're dressed in.
I agree.
But then if you're staying on your own property, I think that's...
If I want to wear shorts...
But I'm just saying...
It's my right, but if someone wants to take a picture of me...
don't cry about it, right?
What about the women who wear juicy on their ass? You're trying to figure out...
And then you try to juice them and nothing comes out.
And then you're looking at their ass...
And only gravy comes out. Hey, it works out.
Nice time for a ding.
Right, next up, privacy protection, privacy law, privacy on the internet, free market versus consumer protection. I think this really connects off of what we just talked about.
Anyway.
No flawless victory on my Transformers. All right, I think this really talks about, somebody else.
Well, I think with the privacy laws, you have different
you molest my
protection.
Read around Eddie's head.
You have different forums
No, it's cool.
where privacy is really enforced.
I think that's good.
You look at Facebook. It's a publicly traded forum. It's you're volunteering to put your information on there. This and that. That's open to the public. But then more of a private type one is using like a library and researching. Like you go in and you want to research how to create a bomb and stuff. You have the assumption that what you're researching at that point is not being watched by the government and it's not going to be profiled for you, them thinking you're a terrorist. You may be researching just how to make a bomb for a report. And that's where, like, the information of freedom.
What do you think about that, though?
Privacy.
Do you think that the government should be able to watch people to do that?
No.
Interesting. Does anybody here think they should?
See, they're just as likely to monitor.
Because
they're going to. They're more
I think
likely
because
to
of this podcast, I am now on a government watch list. Because when I do the links, you would not believe the subjects I'm typing in.
Okay.
But up the ass.
But I want to disagree with Paul, though. I think that if I'm not making a bomb, I don't care if the government's looking at me making a bomb. As long as they, have sufficient evidence.
But do you want them to be harassing you and to be watching you?
Okay, then suspicion is probable cause. That's already probable cause.
Well, here's
you were looking at a bomb. Why else would you want to look at a bomb?
Well, there's lots of reasons. Like he said,
there's tons of reasons, but if we
talk about it here,
let's assume that you are. That's all the government needs.
Okay, but I think that's
also that database, that computer, and everything you're using. At that point, you're researching it. That's paid by the government. That's public money that I feel that as our people, privacy should be enforced there. You're not volunteering to
don't touch my button.
Pay for that.
Before we go to Joe, I
want
to get two things out there. One, you're also just as likely to be investigated if you look up like hummus or couscous, like you're buying that at the supermarket. They might look at that and go like, you're of a particular...
What is my hummus for about?
Now, the other thing is that I think, Joey, the thing is I think everyone has to look over their shoulder a little bit if you think someone's investigating you, because the way the laws are right now, there are so many laws on federal and state and local books that you are in violation of something every single day. So if someone wants to pin something on you, they don't have to look far. They're going to find out where you forgot to deduct something, or you did something wrong on your taxes.
You can be
you
micromanaged.
drove out of your driveway the wrong direction. Who knows what the hell you did? There's so many laws. Ignorance is not an excuse for breaking the law, but who can know it? Even lawyers, they have these
That's kind of what I think. Who's going to find
beige-looking books
no
with
one
brown
knows what
bands.
laws
A
are
computer
breaking
can. A
because there's so
person
many.
can't. A computer can.
Okay, here's just the thing for privacy. All you guys hear my voice. You guys know my name is Joe, but I like to be called Ralph, whatever. No, you don't you dare.
I heard it.
You just lost your privacy!
My point is, I'm just a voice right now. You guys are on camera.
It's ghost voice. Is it coming from
don't
the
There is no Joe there.
Is that you, God?
I don't want my face to be out
that's
there.
okay.
I just want to be a voice. You
Joe's
guys want to be on
God.
camera? That's
We need to
fine.
have a Joe proxy that talks like Joe.
Okay, I really want to get one of those make your own puppets from
Okay.
Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And if I get one, I'll bring it all the time. And whenever Joe talks, I'll be like,
No, just bring Little Raccoon.
No, just make
Everybody Snuffleupagus.
yeah, I might.
make a
I know where
weird
the
Eric
regular-
Cartman from South Park. I love that.
All right, moving on to types of privacy: personal, informational, organizational, spiritual, and intellectual.
Well, what type of privacy is it? This is a case study of woman who recently purchased Google Glass, went into a restaurant, complained to the staff, and that other patrons were nervous that she was even wearing Google Glass. She refused to take it off. And interestingly enough, all the reviews within 5 minutes of that restaurant went down on Yelp.
Yeah. Well,
because had nothing to do with the food. It's just that they permitted
Right.
Google Glass. So that constitutes private
It was
property.
because of that, not because of the big controversy about it.
Okay, what if
That
it,
would,
what if
that's
it was...
it. The fact she had it on, and she even said it's not on, but she didn't want to take it off.
Two things to
How can you
that.
prove
What if it was a guy?
what does it matter?
It shouldn't matter
I think it
because
would've been
it has
another
a
way, 'cause then
camera
they
on
think
it,
he's a
so you can do
pervert.
point of
Yes.
view shooting.
he's a pre-vet.
Two things.
Well, yeah.
Number one, that's going to change because something like Google Glass, wearable technology, is going to become such an advantage for technology in the
Okay.
future.
It's gonna be
That's going to
proliferated
change, and then
everywhere.
it's just going to the people who don't like it are all going to die, and the people who grew up with it are not going to care.
Because we're going to take
But that's really going to change how people interact
It is.
with each
Yeah,
other.
it will.
It will change.
will.
Different
Just like
personas.
having a
It's already
telephone change
changed.
how people interact. Just like
Everybody's
having the video
got.
cameras.
Everybody's looking at their hands.
No, but knowing that you're going to be
You know?
recorded, you're
Yeah.
going to act
Okay,
differently.
We are.
We don't have
We're
the
gonna
social
have
norms.
society.
Hey, two things. That was
We're
number
all
one.
gonna be Kardashians.
That was number one. Number two, Google
I'm
is making
Kim.
them look more like glasses now. So
Right.
Okay, casinos. All those people complaining, have they ever gone into a casino?
Yeah,
You're
that's
being
true.
recorded all the time.
Every single minute.
And they have every...
But you know
That's
that.
known.
But you know going
And
in.
They're
there's
still going in
signs.
there.
Because you
And
know.
they can give that out. They can
Because
sell
you know.
that, but they can still
Because you
sell
know.
that information.
Because there's a thing, with a little
it doesn't
placard,
matter.
and you know
You're out
going in.
You're going into a
But
public...
with Google Glass, you're going up and you don't know.
Or what about the steel ring in London? The financial district in London.
my
There
crotch
isn't
cam.
an ounce. There isn't an alley, a place where you are not filmed. consistently. And that's because of terrorism, and that's been going on since the mid '90s. The steel ring. They call it the steel ring because every step is recorded.
So I think we're going to have certain expectations. The thing
I
is,
did the same thing.
I know for a while it used to
But you
be
broke
kind
it.
of mandatory from most manufacturers that there would be like a click sound or a photo shutter whenever you took a shot with your cell phone.
right.
And that's become relaxed because I think people are more used to it now. Everyone doesn't just assume that because you're holding your cell phone looking at it and thumbing on it that you're taking pictures. However, you probably...
I hate it when I have my sound off, or when I think my sound's off, and I take a picture. Everyone looks at me. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the thing is, like, again, it's like, you know, if you're in the restroom or whatever, you should be careful with where you're pointing your phone, I would say.
And don't say the word picture while you're taking a whiz.
With Google Glass, I think just out of courtesy, if you remember, you should probably lift them
Right.
up. Because the thing is,
Yeah,
like, they do have an indicator light that lets everyone around you know that you're recording, but you know that someone's going to be able to hack that. You know, the's going to be a firmware update. You're going to just, like...
We're kind of off topic here, though. But
But the thing is,
true.
though,
It's a type of-
I think it's safe to assume it's always recording.
Oh, no,
Right?
never.
And so just adjust yourself to that reality.
Okay, I did.
You know?
No, but it is going to happen. We do have to adjust ourselves to the reality.
adjust
That,
And I think it's the right of restaurant owners and whatever to say, look, no glass in this
adjust
facility. If
myself.
they
but it's going
wanna
to get to
do
the point
that,
where they
then
won't
fine.
know.
No shoes, no shirt, no glass.
No problem.
That is something that comes up because you can get it fitted for prescription lenses. So then if it's like you can't wear your glass in here, it's like, great, I don't have another pair of prescription glasses.
But also the new Google Glass looks like glasses. They don't look futuristic. They actually made them look like glass because
now you're discriminating.
People are getting discriminated.
That's
You cannot let me come in because
that's a disability.
Okay, what is spiritual privacy?
I don't know.
I'm going to extend because we didn't get to the topic.
Spiritual privacy?
Well, spiritual privacy is kind of
your religious views, what you're
usually
saying
you want
to
to
a
make
priest
those public.
inside of a confession.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, and then they can't even say anything. Organizational privacy. Your organization, you got to keep trade secrets, I guess, right? And that's important. That is important. You got to make sure that your competition doesn't know, because that's what competition's all about.
I'm
What,
sure
Joe, you
the
want to
priests
say?
appreciate you.
Well, then again, I think there are secrets
you want to be able to investigate it later.
I think there's a real move though toward more transparency, like things like Bitcoin and the technologies that introduces. I think we're going to have a lot more transparency coming from corporations. However, again, it is going to be interesting when you see competition, because if everyone's like trade secrets or secret sauce or whatever, like, you know, what if the 11 herbs and spices are now public because it's part of
Holy shit!
blockchain, right? They are.
Kentucky Fried Chicken's.
We do chicken, right?
But it's the
what about the formula of Coca-Cola and all those things? Like,
yes.
Coke, you can get the
formula,
but you
Coke.
can't.
All right,
they won't give out the ratio, like how to make it.
Well, you know the essential.
No, they send the
ingredients,
syrup.
but,
They send the syrup around the world already made. All they have to do is just de-syrup it with water and sugar or whatever.
Reconstitute it, carbonate it.
Well, it's just like with the drug companies. You change a couple of molecules, and all of a sudden, it's a different thing, so they can patent it.
They can patent it
New
and
improved.
sell it.
Yep.
Doesn't exist.
Well, I'm glad we extended this part.
Yeah.
What about informational privacy and intellectual privacy? Well, intellectual privacy, like what do you own?
I thought of it first.
Right, because that's changing completely.
That's true, because your thoughts are kind of like
I want to be intellectual by myself.
But then once you let them out into the world, you know, if people...
Well, that's what patents are for, is that they're designed to grant a limited time monopoly to an idea.
But apparently the patent's broken. Whatever
it's gone way beyond the bounds, because nothing since 1930, because Mickey Mouse can't be.
Technology's changing, invading privacy. Yes, they are. Search engine, Facebook, Google Glass. You should have saved this, damn it!
Son of a bitch!
Dang it.
Facebook, you input everything except that thing where they can listen in on what you're doing and you don't know it. Like if there's a song playing, then they'll post that.
Yeah, I don't like when they do that.
That's scary. That
bothers me because I'm at work playing. I'm playing like a slots game, and like Kim all of a sudden. So you're working hard. Because he says, Joey just made $1 billion on slots.
Yeah, those things do tattle on you. I remember when I was in a relationship with someone who played Steam games with me. Like, there were times where it's like,
sucks, man.
I'm like, damn it, I can't load up my game because she'll know. Like, oops. Because she's been telling me, you're playing that way too much. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Time for incognito.
Well, and then another thing about Facebook is I used to have everything private. But now since we have Incoherent Ramblings, I share everything publicly because I want to help.
I've gotten to the point where
I don't really care.
I just do everything private.
There's certain things
publicly.
Like, I'm not sharing the sex things for this week, for our last episode, because I'm a teacher, so I'm not sharing those. But for the most part, I share everything publicly.
Well, I also try not to make them too revealing or raunchy. You know, like they're fairly
show like one of your nuts, not
I gotta say,
and I only let someone grow up one breast.
Yeah, I was the side anyway.
The Dos Equis fart one was like
that was not an invite.
I like the side.
All right,
you are invited to touch moves.
Does anybody here care that Google is looking at your information?
You know, Facebook is good for that.
Because I don't give a crap. I like that they're focusing their.
I've always presumed that it's always been compromised. Ever since the days of BBS.
Wait, what's been compromised?
Our information. We put something in. I assume that somebody can read it.
I'd rather see ads on stuff.
Well, because the NSA is like getting on the trunk, and like even they don't even have to negotiate with Google and Facebook and whatever. They just like take all the information. They're attached to the fire hose. They get all of it. They save all of it. A lot of it's encrypted. But then when they have suspicion of somebody, they can go to Google and say, "Hey, we need the private key for this individual." And Google's under the rule of law that they have to hand it over because it's like the NSA knocking.
Okay, well, if you're afraid,
isn't it the incognito windows that they purposely don't have that info so they can't be called up to show it?
Well, it depends on how some security can be done. In fact, I think Google is one of the few large corporations that's interested in doing this, where they want to have like actual clear encryption from your client as a browser all the way to their servers. That way they don't have your private key. But the way that the system works now, even when you're going onto like Gmail using SSL, they still know like what your key is. They can decrypt you if they so choose. So it needs to be reworked a bit for it to work, where they can't have.
And the problem is that even though they don't record,
I can't go wait for the episode.
You want to extend? Oh, wait, you're extended.
you lost your extend.
We went through this.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. I can go to any click.
You can talk about privacy.
Okay.
Maybe it works on this because we're talking about the NSA still.
Government.
I'm for privacy and the government.
Government.
Okay, Joe, you can start this off. Privacy, government, go.
Government, go.
Government mule.
Well, I just wanted to say I like the animation that Joey's doing there. Thank you very much. And what was the question again?
NSA, government, Patriot Act. How does that intrude on our privacy or help our private
Look,
It's about can't go away.
If it helps,
help our privates.
if it helps catch nuts that want to harm our citizens, I'm all for it.
or nuts that drive on the
Because I
Metro
don't
Link.
think everyday
Dude,
people,
it'll catch these nuts.
I don't think everyday people
That
have
was
to worry
funny,
about
Joe.
this. I don't think it's something that everyday people should worry about. If we're worried about the wackos hurting us, that's the people I want to get. Those are the guys harming Americans.
Right. The big problem is
All
who
right, Joe, you're
determines
first on the
those
list.
people. And the Patriot Act, when it first was passed, I said this is going to be a bad thing because
I
they
like
are
Joe's
never
effort, 'cause I wanna
going
see
to give
Joey's
it up.
input. Of
They
course.
kept saying,
So.
it's just for this amount of time, and then we're going to give it up. It's been extended 3 times so far.
Hey, you only get one extension.
Anytime the government grabs more power, it's basically they're not going to.
you have to really fight them to get it back.
And because we can't profile people in an airport or anywhere, you have to randomly check the old
We still
ladies in
do,
the wheelchair,
but we still profile them.
but they can't publicly show that. And what about the NSA guys looking up, their
should they,
ex-girlfriends
keep a list
and
of
girlfriends
people-
instead of doing their job?
They'll keep a list of people who bought hummus, and they only check those people.
It's kind of like taxes. Once it's there, it don't go away.
I mean, profiling, I agree to an extent. Like, there are certain people you might want to just give a pass because they definitely aren't terrorists. But then again, if you make that assumption, that will be used against you. That's security 101
What's the difference
right
between driving while black or going through Arizona as a Mexican?
That's the first thing. Like, if you say all
DWB?
ladies over the age of 65 get a pass, guess who's going to be carrying the next bomb onto a plane?
30-year-old
Because
men.
they're going to. Well,
No, 65-year-old
thing is,
women that look like terrorists.
Well, you got to think about Israel because they don't profile because they don't have to. They have such a good way of detecting. They know how, because they have to, know how to stop terrorists from
or at
getting on
least
planes.
that's
and
their
things like
PR.
Well, how many?
I mean,
how many
they obviously have a
airlines
porous system
hijacked?
because they
How many
have
times
a lot
they
of
bombed the
bombs go
Palestinians?
off. Yeah,
Well, I'm talking about the airport.
the airport. Okay,
Okay,
right.
because I heard an interview once on KFI. They had it with a guy who used to work for the security at the Israeli airport, and he was saying you don't have to profile.
Right,
If
right.
you know what certain things terrorists do,
Yeah.
you interview people and you you know what's supposed to.
Well, there's also a matter of KYC. That's something the banks do. Is called Know Your Customer, and that's one of the things too. Like, if you have the ID and you can prove who you are at the gates.
I thought it was
then-
KYC.
What
How do
about
we
Rich
f- our
Marcinko
customers?
in Rogue Warrior? Just
That's
assimilate.
KYCF,
Oh.
I think, or KFC.
KFC.
KFC, right? Okay.
If you act like you know what
time
you're
code.
doing, you can get away with it.
Kentucky Fried Cuda.
That's all.
I like
Kentucky
it.
Fried Cuda.
Cuda.
I don't really care about the government spying on me too much,
care
except
about
for the
Cuba.
point that maybe they can find something I did, like you were saying before, and use
Yeah,
it
the
to.
thing is, like, if you ever step out of line, you're done. They're gonna find something to pin on you
If they want to-
because you've broken so many laws. up to
So
this point
I
in your
will.
life.
I that's a good
They
point. I
can
never really
make
cared
anything
before.
Up. What does it matter?
I
Speak for yourself. I only
They really
break the
wanna get you.
important
They'll
ones.
make it-
But no, I think it's important. I never really cared if they were looking at what I'm doing, but
Yeah.
I am worried about problems. What do you call it?
Well, I care about
in the government.
I care about them just looking because there's a thing like behavior changes when you're relaxed versus when you know you're being surveilled. And you admitted that when you say like, if I'm in a public place, I'm going to act like there's a camera on me.
What do
Do
we
you want to be like
expect-
that in your own home?
Always.
Shut the What do we expect in the past? What do we expect now? Cameras everywhere, online, social network, etc. And I think this comes
There's
to what
a
I was saying
little
earlier.
clip you can put over your laptop camera when you masturbate, so you don't have to worry
Electrical
about them watching you.
It's called electrical tape. Yeah. Oh, that's crap.
I got that.
And
the little webcam can just be turned sideways, and then no one has to know.
So I think in the future is we're learning, like, our generation came from a generation of more privacy, but we're getting into a world of a new generation where everything is being put. What? I gotta sit over here?
Yes. You gotta be knee buddies with Eddie over there. Yeah, rub knees, baby.
So we're getting into a newer generation where everything is being put
last week
online,
it was cuddling.
and we know it's being put online. So our privacy, our opinions of privacy, are a little more relaxed than.
Apparently, sociosexual.
I have no idea what was said.
I think our generation, the generation of our parents, has a huge.
Finish that.
I'm waiting for this. Have a huge desire.
It's getting better.
For privacy.
Is it burning?
They want privacy as much as possible because there was privacy, and it was hard to not be private most of the time because there wasn't the communication we have today. We're kind of in the middle where we would like some sort of privacy, but we're okay with letting some of our stuff out.
Well, you think
and the
that
people in the future are going to care about most of what's going on.
Well, think of the spectrum we got from like World War II, where it's loose lips sink ships type thing, and now we're into the era of Snowden, who just like, hey, here's all the shit that we're doing, and it's being accepted. He's shown being veered as a patriot, as a hero, whistleblower. Yes,
very interesting.
By the way, is Snowden coming up on like a later topic thing? I didn't look over the.
Snowden, didn't he sing Informer?
You know what? We're gonna add. Let's add Snowden into number 9. It's not gonna be up there. We were one short, so we'll add Snowden for number 9. I think.
All right, that's cool. In Russia.
Where its test conclusion will actually be Snowden.
Is Snowden on there?
Ecuador yet?
No, but
Snowden conclusion. I got it. That's
okay.
Cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is that where we're on?
Yeah,
that's not where we're on.
Subtopic.
Cameras everywhere. Okay.
What about cameras everywhere?
Yes.
Well, working at the Cal Poly Library, there's cameras everywhere, and it's
casinos.
Kind of annoying.
Casinos, London.
I remember people used to be really up in arms about it like 10, 15 years ago. Now it's just kind of expected, especially when you see how.
I'm up in arms.
Sweating under your tit.
Thank you.
Well, it's
Is that where it went?
the technology. These things have proliferated so much that everyone owns.
Oh, dude, are you lactating? You hear a baby cry?
Typically, everyone owns at least one camera, whereas, think about when we were growing up, it's like having a camera was something special.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I remember on the Heritage trip, I got to take my dad's, long camera that look like, I don't know what they're called.
Yeah,
with the windy and the click-click. Windy and the click-click.
How long was it?
Windy click-click. Windy click-click.
It was
film.
110.
Oh!
110 film.
110 film.
Yeah, 110, that's right. And I took a lot of pictures of pigs.
Yeah. And
Police.
And you can.
One picture. Oh, 2 pictures of you. I didn't know him yet.
Was there a relation?
No.
The good old days.
But yeah, everybody's okay with cameras everywhere these days. I think it's just part of.
Oh, he didn't take a picture of the ham bone. What are you talking about?
What's the ham bone connected to?
No, wasn't it ham bone?
The
Ham bone.
Ham bone, not ham bone. That's probably where it came up with
Swing
the
your curly dong.
All right. Section's over.
What is private versus public area? We kind of talked about that, but think about the Donald Sterling tape. For quality purposes, your baby monitor will record it.
That's on everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
No, I
say it's no problem. What if I say no? That's bullshit. I want to cuss you out and ask you out.
What if I say I don't want to be recorded?
That's the thing. That's why I have a problem with the Donald Sterling tape, because he was in a private apartment, private area, in a private setting, and he was not asked to record his voice. It was
that's going to be the
under the assumption of being privacy.
He should win hands down.
I don't think it's wrong. He's stupid. It's out there, but he shouldn't be forced to have to sell his team and be. But he shouldn't have to sell his team. But he is part of the NBA, which is an organization, and if that makes your organization look bad, I'm sure there's a clause in his contract saying that.
Next time you call one of those places, they say this is being recorded.
One of those
just say the same thing back to them. By the way, this is being recorded for my own evidence. You record it, I'm recording it too. What are you going to do? And the call?
And then you end with in your face.
Yeah, because by you pressing 1 or 2 to talk, to an Espanol,
and I think that'll make
is.
them care. But anyway,
what does it matter? What do they care?
The Sterling thing. I think he has a right to privacy, and he probably would win in court. due to the extenuating circumstances. But this came to the court of public opinion, and when you're a celebrity,
he's the
and
LA Clippers owner.
Yes.
That was recorded.
right, and you're holding an
The guy
unpopular
always
opinion.
has that woman who is a sex doll.
Vista
Yes.
Staviano.
Sitting next to him?
That's who he needs to sue. It's not. It's her that he needs to sue for defamation and
of character.
Yeah, but all
But he's hiding
But a lot of these things play out in the court of public
No.
opinion.
I think
and
when
he's
she-
gonna
when she
lose
got
on
with him,
because
that was
it's-
all the money she has
assassination of
is
her
his
character.
anyway.
it's such a.
but
He obviously acted stupidly. Does he
Oh,
have
he's
a
an
right?
idiot.
Does he have a right to have
He's
those beliefs?
an
I think
old
so.
Man.
But
Hello.
it's.
Old people say.
Then again, I think the organization has the right to say,
Period.
look, we represent
Okay.
a lot of people working for us who you seem to hate.
Yeah.
So why not?
Well, just like Mel Gibson, he was recorded with TMZ or whatever, recorded
Right.
him going on about Jews and everything,
Yeah.
or Tom Cruise with the Scientology rants and all that.
Yeah.
Court of public opinion makes
Right.
makes it weird, and
Cruise
so
is- And
that's
he
the
doesn't
difference
get he doesn't get the
between-
movies. He's stupid,
Yeah.
but he's not. He has a right to say it. But
I mean, why did Paula Cruz get crucified for saying the N-word back in the day? She's from
Paula
the South.
Dean? Yeah.
Whatever. Everybody in the South says the
Paula
N-word,
Cruz?
okay? It just happens.
That's Tom's
Racism's
wife.
not dead. Shit, it's just a slip of the word. I've said it before. You gonna crucify me? Well, no. I'm not running for public office, and I ain't being paid millions of dollars to be some effing celebrity and blah, blah, blah. I'm censoring myself.
see, now she does stuff on her own.
Exactly.
That's
Why would
okay,
she-
but Food Network got rid of her
Well,
because
fine.
people were complaining about
But
her,
people
so they had to
go
get rid of
crazy. It's why
private
move
company.
next to an airport and then complain about the damn airport noise? The airport was there.
Amen, brother.
It comes down to
You
one
people
thing
are
is that
nuts. That's what I get at. You people are f***ing crazy.
when you're a
Period.
celebrity or a politician,
behind your hand there.
you lose a certain amount of privacy, I think, when you get into those positions because you're going to be scrutinized.
Well, you complain about
Daryl,
everything now.
Do you
mean, seriously.
believe your dad
It's
had
too
the
hot.
right
It's
to
too
fart
cold.
in his own house?
Yes, I do.
My dog
Yeah.
farts
He even
in
said
the
so.
bedroom.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
what's
he
the
stated
problem
specifically.
Uh huh.
Yeah,
And complained when he couldn't. When
right,
He was,
right. I think he
When he
So
couldn't
private
fart?
public. What do you guys think?
he could have.
What are we on?
That's the same thing. Private or public.
Flawless victory.
Well, I think
If you're expecting
if you're in a
privacy,
public area,
if you're expecting privacy, it should be private.
Oh dang!
So next
Edward
one,
Snowden.
Edward Snowden.
Yes.
Did he make it to Ecuador yet?
What do you guys think of what he did? Was it
Okay.
patriotic? Was it fighting back against the government, or was it treason?
Well, nobody
was
knows
both.
the whole story.
It was
I think
like-
it counted as basically all three.
yes.
It's both. He was entrusted with a position, but and he was given a special security clearance in the confidence of the United States. But then again, if the United States is doing something illegal, it gets into a major gray area.
Well, having signed a bunch of those agreements, what you can't say, and they tell you what the consequences are if you say. So he knew what was going to happen to him, but he decided to do it anyway, hoping that what he had to tell would make him look better than what he actually broke.
He did
the
it at
laws he
great
broke.
personal sacrifice and risk.
But
did.
He was kind
however,
of a douche.
I heard this point of view as well, that if he did it just for the American people, why didn't he release everything at once? Why is he releasing it in bits and pieces
To the UK.
so that he can keep the popularity going?
Well,
Yeah.
I think part of that
He's
too
also being
is that
governed.
they know what he's got, and so he's using it as a bargaining chip, perhaps to lower.
Could be.
Well, in some way, too, it's
intense
like-
action
It just
against
kind of
him.
sounds like he's TMZ, you know?
Well, I
He's
think
like,
he released what was vital to be a whistleblower, and he was trying to, I think, in a way, trying to mitigate how much damage he might do against the United States. Because one thing is, like, if he releases all of his information, he might be jeopardizing people out in the field.
and
He'd be
some-
jeopardizing,
what
he'd be
he did
jeopardizing
release-
himself. You give out all
yeah,
the
that too,
information,
that too.
You give
now
up
they can
all
take
your
him out.
cards?
Right.
some
I'm
of
trying
what...
to raise my damn hand here.
Yeah, we know we're near you.
And
Okay, Joe, go.
and
Twat.
Go.
What?
Go!
Hurry!
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, what Edward Snowden did, only Edward Snowden knows for sure what
Who?
he's trying to do. The guy you're talking about,
Ed Snow.
Snow guy.
I liked your
Okay.
pronunciation.
Look, if he gets to
Snowman.
Ecuador, he's gonna win. But right now, wherever country he's at, they're winning because they're doing something against America. Why does America have to be number one? Any government you say no to, they get pissed off like spoiled little children. I expose your secrets. Wah! I'm going to lock you up.
The question is, what information do you think he's been giving Russia?
I don't know. He's obviously got safe haven. So obviously he's got.
I definitely would like to see more transparency.
So I want to
know what he knows.
I want to direct something to Ed and Kale, since you both have military experience. I want to just question. I think that someone in his position does take an oath to uphold the Constitution, right?
Yes, they do.
And to keep private what they have agreed to keep private.
But then he was given a dilemma. He was basically being told that the NSA is in violation of the Constitution.
Right, and that's the thing is, if they're doing something criminal, then you do not have to obey those orders.
Right. And I think he was basically, in his mind, he ascertained that he was asked to do something criminal.
And he's being persecuted for thinking he's doing good.
And he will be prosecuted if he comes on American soil.
My other thought towards this, though, is that if Edward... Damn it, I forgot it!
Scissorhands.
No, guys. No.
Edward James Olmos.
Snowden.
That was it.
James Olmos.
Yeah, thanks. That's helped me remember.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
And didn't wear socks.
He
said some things that really embarrassed our government, but weren't really illegal. Wasn't there something about what we had said about other leaders? I remember hearing.
Well, it was what we were saying. The NSA was saying we're not doing this, and they were.
Right.
But there was something. There was something about like how we thought about other leaders in some memos that were released and embarrassed us publicly.
I kind of remember that.
And like, what's the point of releasing that except to make us look bad?
Hey, Jackie.
All right, guys. Privacy conclusion. How do you feel about privacy? I mean, we've kind of gone over that as a whole, but I think we can hit it again. Privacy for me is I'm fine with the way things are going. That things are becoming less private because I think as the world turns.
And the younger the better. And the restless. The younger
that we will start not judging people as much for things we keep private. Also, I figure if you don't have much to hide, then it's not a big deal. I think people who really get up in arms over privacy have things they're embarrassed about. Not necessarily criminal, but maybe embarrassed about. Which is fine. Just
I don't want anyone to know about that flawless victory I had.
I do.
I'm revealing as much as possible because when they finally come to me and say, why did you say this? Haven't you ever listened to the podcast?
It's like they do with South Park now.
I said worse things than that.
If somebody calls up to complain about South Park, Comedy Central just goes, it's South Park. What do you
We said nobody should be listening to this. Didn't you understand that?
Wait a second, Kale, you know classified top secret information, correct?
Correct.
So what happens when you start losing your mind and your top secret information just starts coming out?
That problem solves itself because
you're
as long as it's a flawless victory,
you're listening to a crazy person.
Two things. You're assuming first that I haven't already lost my mind,
right?
And two, that I still, after 30 years, still know some things that people don't know.
I've tried.
What if you do?
And if I do...
Is the Men in Black going to come get you?
Well, think about it.
Losing your mind?
If he's really lost his mind, he's going to be spouting all this stuff that's inaccurate.
Yeah.
Half of it's not believable, whatever,
But he could say something that is true, and then somebody can say, wait a second.
And then they're going to cherry pick that out against all the other BS
Almost
he's spouting.
everything
I
knew
conspiracy
that
blog.
was top secret and classified is on the internet for everybody to see now.
Okay.
All right.
Then you need. Then
so
you
it really
need
isn't that important anymore.
Like the chupacabra.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Then
I cannot confirm or deny.
So anyway, thank you for telling us what you did on privacy. I'm glad I'm in control here.
With regards to privacy, the more you interact with technology, the less privacy you're going to have, and as time progresses, that's going to be the norm. And if you want more privacy, you have to live off the grid. And there's stuff like Bitcoin, and if you want decentralized economics, then you're going to be forced to live on the grid.
Nicely done.
I gotta follow that up.
Hell yeah.
Well,
do it.
It's your topic.
Privacy is private.
What's flawless privacy?
Bill and Ted moment right here, dude.
Obviously, privacy has changed over the years. It's way different than when we were kids, and now that we're adults, and the 20, 30 years that
you can do all that stupid stuff now. You can.
Yeah, so it's just each generation, as new things come out, technology or whatever, we'll adjust to it, and it's just being aware of privacy now. So I think I'm much more aware of my surroundings now, what I'm doing, what I'm putting out there. Maybe hoping nobody's watching it, but it's changing as technology changes. So my views are fluid and elastic, and it will change over time.
Fluid.
That sounds like a sex doll. It's fluid and plastic, but
and changes over time.
And it covers your privacy.
Yeah.
All right, Kale, privacy, and I think we're going to need extends on this.
yeah,
Who has one?
YouTube.
I like a little
think
bit
you-
of
no,
I
privacy,
used mine on
but
my-
I guess
Kale's got one.
I've just decided that most everything doesn't need to be private because I'll just admit to it. You know, honesty.
It's such a lonely word.
All right, I'll
Everyone
extend.
is so untrue.
I'll extend that.
All right.
Boom.
Oh, is it my turn now?
He tapped
Do that again.
He tapped that tit. Tit.
Ted.
Are you saying it's my turn?
Yeah.
Tit.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying tit.
Privacy. I think
PRIVs.
it's one of those things that individuals deserve and I think ought to be protected. Then again, realize that when you're in public, you're going to forfeit some of your privacy. And just be aware of what you're doing. You know, when you're working online, just be aware that unless you're ultra secure, this stuff might get out there.
And that chick you're talking to on the other end is a guy.
I definitely want to see fewer the governments get less and less privacy over a while. 'Cause I think I've said this before on the podcast. I think the government has it reversed that they're kind of
Dudes, you're playing with dudes!
they're kind of saying no, like the individual doesn't get any privacy anymore because they feel like they have the right to save all of our data that's going out into the internet. And
They actually signed a thing that says they can have it.
And then the government is like, but you can't know what we're up to because, and I think
That's
it's
national
like
security.
if we're the people in control of this country, then we need to know what our government's up to within certain limits. Of course, certain things are going to be.
Yeah, but everything
secretive.
can be blanketed under national security. If
Yeah.
they want to keep it private, they'll just throw it under that.
But I kind of want to see the rules get reversed a little more, like protect individual privacy to a fuller extent, and then.
Yeah. I want the
get more
Patriot Act
transparency on the
gone.
government.
That's what I want.
Okay,
Gone.
That would help.
Joe, do you want to add on to this? Your definition of privacy?
Do I get my puppet
yeah,
up
you
here?
got it, you got it.
Okay, you ready?
You want the
time.
puppet now?
You ready?
He wants the
Put your
puppet.
hand inside the
Look.
puppet head.
You all touched on the right subjects. Look, if you want to be private, live off the grid.
All right, next topic.
You bastard!
All right, finish up.
Finish up.
Look,
Yeah.
That's fine.
If you want to be off the grid, live off the grid. You can do it. Be a hermit. Go live in Montana. It's fun. Try and live like the Amish people. They're great people. But if you want to
Amish
be in
paradise.
the world and you want to walk out in this world, there's cameras all over the place. Your privacy is not private anymore. So if you think some rights are being violated, it's for your protection, really. Do you want to be blown up by some guy that's watching?
That's what
you're
every
moving?
totalitarian regime says before they take away all
Joe,
your
do you really
rights.
want people to know you go to the titty bar?
I don't care
like
if they
that.
know I go to the titty bar. What's it matter? I go to. You damn people are so obsessed with tits here in America. It's not a big
I like
deal.
booty.
Wait,
They're just tits.
I like
you
booty.
damn people?
Yeah.
You're not obsessed with
Are
them?
you? What do you call it?
Hey, his
We're
tits
getting
are
off
private.
subject. We're getting off subject.
Tits are private.
Privacy
Yeah,
is
you
whatever
people.
you want it to be. If you want to be
You wouldn't
private,
think so
be
when you're
private.
looking
You want to be
online.
public, be public.
I'm proud of them, baby.
But just remember, when you walk out
proud
the
of
door
them.
or you go on the internet,
We got one booty
you're
over
giving
here.
up your privacy.
You're not
Period.
gonna leave the privacy of booty over there, are you?
Booty. I love.
All right. Thank you, Paul, for giving us
Good job.
privacy
Good job.
today.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks.
All
Thanks for
right.
exploiting our privacy once again.
Yes, as the show often does. All right. My choice for next week. Now, as many of you know, I was the first to include, not include, to choose a fictional topic to go over, which is Star Wars. I have again chosen a
Why are
fictional
you
topic
directing Daryl?
because I can.
You will know.
Yeah, what is this?
Sleep.
So
I didn't say wake.
I'm sorry, but these are the droids I'm looking for.
Yeah, here we go. Sorry.
There's these.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, strangely enough, our
Now he's
topic,
got the
Yes, what's
roids
the
he's
topic?
looking
our
for.
topic
Joey,
for
what's
next
the
week
topic?
Oh, come on, Cyborg.
is going to be
Twats.
Transformers.
Yes!
We're going to talk about the toy, the industry, the cartoon, the new movies. As Transformers 4 is coming out shortly.
And the potential reality of them.
I like that as well. We will put that in the notes. So
Silicon-based life form.
we will be talking about all sorts of Transformers.
Silicon-based lube.
Yeah.
Which will, I believe, be in 2 weeks.
everyone
So, as we will probably have our next... We're starting our 2-week thing going on next. All right.
2.
We're
We're going to do 2 weeks next?
I totally just spit on my computer.
I talked to you.
So does...
All right, just to be clear, you're not waiting for a bell, are you?
I'm waiting for everybody to be quiet.
All right.
You can always reach us show
Did
at...
you just say... Yeah, you did.
You did.
Aren't we going to...
All
If we're going to do 2, then
Damn
we
it.
need to introduce the next one,
Wait,
too?
we're doing 2.
No, we're going 2 weeks.
To you.
Yes.
Not 2 shows.
weeks.
Yeah, aren't you
2
gonna
weeks
say
on.
how to get a hold of you guys?
I'm trying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
you
can always
try and
reach-
shut
You know
that
what?
hell
us
up.
in our
For shorthand now on the notes, I'm putting F-bomb and C-bomb, because those are the only kinds that we
For shorthand, when you guys interrupt me, I'm just doing this.
What if I'm paying attention?
Hey, Joey, we're number 1.
You're never one. You can always reach the show at IamRambling.com. Please comment and email and join us for the next show. Remember, we're incoherent, so you don't have to.
Thanks for listening. You can now stop screaming at the open air. Listeners should put their minds back in their upright positions and resume traditional thinking. Find us on IamRambling.com for access to all of our weekly ramblings, show notes, general discussions, and any projects from Incoherent Ramblings. Like us on Facebook and rate us on iTunes. So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of Incoherent Ramblings. I'm your host, Joey. With me is...
Ed's editorial.
Paul Hottinger.
Kale Anderson.
Hey!
Pulse on the shot.
Hey!
Gerald Shores.
What's what?
Tech director.
Ralph,
I can't lean with
Okay,
Kale.
restart in 5, 4... No.
We can restart, it's fine.
Yeah,
Don't
let's
move.
go.
I don't have no sound.
Let's go.
Hey,
Let's go.
I have no sound.
Okay.
Yeah, something happened.
You can't hear us?
Oh,
No,
he got
I can't hear
unplugged.
shit here now.
It's my bad.
Take your
Sorry.
earphones off. You can hear us.
That. I want to hear it with my ears.
All right.
You know, whatever.
Yes.
Okay, maybe we should restart.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought that's what we said.
Sync clap is still good, and 5 seconds silence.